While listening to a conservative radio station today, I heard Republican delegate Tim Anderson of Virginia talking about his fight to get over 20 different books out of schools, claiming they are hypersexual. I would have to read all of these books to determine if I agree whether they are or not, but I was particularly annoyed by his framing of his argument. He said the content was hypersexual, not like Romeo and Juliet kissing. That's his direct quote. He said, not like Romeo and Juliet kissing. Now again, the books in question may be downright pornographic and inappropriate for school, but when politicians frame things in a way that demonstrates they're objectively wrong, it needs to be called out. The sexual content of Romeo and Juliet is not just kissing. Romeo and Juliet is commonplace ninth grade reading material in Virginia and all over most of the United States, without any complaint from Mr. Anderson or any other politician. Not only does this claim show that he hasn't read the book that he's citing as a counterexample, but he hasn't even Googled its content. In Romeo and Juliet, Samson boasts he will attack Montague's men, then sexually assault the women. A 13-year-old girl pines for a 16-year-old boy to ravage her and give her orgasms using Elizabethan slang. Frequent childhood metaphors are used to remind us of just how young Juliet is. There's direct declarations that in our time would be 8th grade girl and a 10th grade boy had such intense sexual interactions that an adult needs to step in and remind them to love moderately. Adults are assisting in sexual escapades of two young minors against the will of their families, and those adults are portrayed as heroic. A teenage double suicide is the result of them fearing they wouldn't be able to love or sexually ravish each other anymore. This all goes without mentioning most of the violence in the book. If you think kids shouldn't be allowed to read about sex or violence in school, then you have a problem with Shakespeare too, not to mention a lot of other things that we consider classic. Anderson also said in his interview, "You go from playing with Legos in 5th grade to reading hypersexual books in 6th grade." This is someone who hasn't spent a day talking to 5th grade teachers about their curriculum, or again, hasn't bothered to Google it. You know you can Google these things, right, Tim? 5th graders do a lot more reading and study than just playing with Legos. You should probably look into what they actually do in different grades if you're going to wage a campaign against books in schools. And the third problem that I had with this was that, once again, I'm not sure if these books are appropriate or not, but it's strange seeing the party that claims to be all about freedom bragging about removing the freedoms of kids to read over 20 books. According to polls, 22% of that party also wants the Bible taught in schools, to the exclusion of books written by atheists or people of different faiths. The Bible, by the way, contains significantly more fucked up sex and violence than any of Shakespeare's published work. So it's almost as if they haven't read any of the books they want to keep and promote. And I have to wonder how many of these people also haven't read the books they want to ban.